Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso. El Paso, Texas, which is right on the border, is the lowest murder rate for any of the big cities in the country.
Don't try and convince me that there's no crime.
El Paso now dragged into the Donald Trump saga. More on what he had to say about the Sun City.
El Paso City Council wants you to watch what you say. Why officials are saying a potty mouth could keep you from making public comments.
And storm track weather coverage. Las Cruces got a lot of rain overnight. So did some other parts of the borderland. Will it continue, though, this morning?
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning, everyone. Here's a look at our weather radar this morning. A lot of green out there.
Yeah, some areas of the borderline just got pounded overnight, and we could expect more today. A very good morning to El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. It's a wet morning for a lot of people. Some people are actually going to wake up and see some big puddles, especially in Las Cruces, right, Crystal?
Yeah, that's right. Overnight, Las Cruces got a big hit of rain. In fact, it was all over southern New Mexico, about Luna to Doña County getting the best hit of rain. And the rain's still out there right now. This is exactly why we called your first alert. For these overnight hits, for the late afternoon hits that cause issues on the roadways or affect you and your life as you get ready to go to work. Right now, we are still seeing the rain moving through right around El Paso County. Mostly it's just some spotty rain down to the southwest of us, but in the northwest corner of El Paso County, looking at some rain that's moving up through Anthony and Vado. And if you move into Doña County around Las Cruces, a little better hit there. This is what we've been seeing all morning long. That light to moderate rainfall. Mesilla to Fairacre seeing a little more rain. Right now, that means that there's more rain picking up at the airport, which is going to continue to increase that value outside as we move throughout your afternoon. That chance of rain will pick up again, which means this could be a really good day for rain totals around Las Cruces. Some of those storms are still moving on into Otero County this morning, right near Alamogordo as we speak. Your temperatures currently, we're sitting at 65 TRC, 71 in El Paso, and 64 Las Cruces. Those upper 50s for us in Ruidoso. So these temperatures currently looking very pleasant. The thing is, the clouds are going to affect our afternoon heating. It's still looking like we should see upper 80s to low 90s for forecast highs. We want to talk more about, though, those rain chances, especially as we move into the afternoon and night. We're going to track that coming up in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Crystal. And new this morning, we have a look at that strong line of storms as it passed through Las Cruces. From our New Mexico mobile newsroom, Good Morning El Paso's Denise Olivas is live now to continue our storm track weather coverage. Denise.
Good morning, Stephanie. And it was an overnight and early morning of consistent rain in Las Cruces. As Crystal mentioned, rain in Doña County right now has slowed down some, but take a look at what it looked like overnight. Lightning and thunder accompanied the rain showers. Just take a look at how fast that rain rushed through some of the streets in Las Cruces. One of our WeatherNet sites is reporting half an inch of rain, while the airport in West Las Cruces is reporting a quarter of an inch, still a very significant amount. And at about 1 this morning, power went out in parts of North Las Cruces, but we know that lasted for about 25 minutes. So if you live in Las Cruces and you're just waking up and as you head out, you want to take things a little slow because you might see some of that standing water throughout some of the roadways. And meanwhile, here in the Sun City, it's a nice cool morning to start, but take that umbrella and possibly a light jacket as you head out and as those rain chances stick around, because as you can see right behind me, those dark skies. For now, we're live in West El Paso. Denise Olivas, ABC7.
Thanks so much, Denise. Donald Trump is making controversial comments on the border again, this time involving El Paso. ABC7's Jerry Nahara has our story.
We saw the reaction in our community and our nation after Trump said Mexico is only sending their worst across the border. Well, in an interview Wednesday, he holds those ideals and even speaks out on the current state of the border, saying there is no borders.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
It was a speech that brought a lot of backlash for Trump. His show, The Apprentice, canceled, Miss Universe dropped from Univision, and yes, even the Trump Piñata came about. Wednesday afternoon, Trump was interviewed, and once again, he stood by his words.
They force people into our country, and they are drug dealers, and they are criminals of all kind. We are taking Mexico's problems.
And during the interview, NBC News reporter Katie Tur asked Trump about El Paso.
The murder rate in El Paso, Texas, which is right on the border, is the lowest murder rate for any of the big cities in the country.
Don't try and convince me that there's no crime.
In the past, we've heard these arguments made before in terms of the immigrants bringing over violence.
Federico Anuveros lives in El Paso, and he says he's not concerned about illegal border crossers.
I mean, here in El Paso, I can speak for El Paso, and I think here in El Paso, we don't see a lot of violence coming from the immigrants, from immigration coming in here.
Today, police also reminded us of El Paso's ranking of safest city in the nation between 2010 and 2014. In fact, they say year-to-date reportable crimes are down by 12.9%.
It's a disgrace. Don't tell me about safety. Are you trying to justify safety on the border? I don't think so.
Residents like Silvia Portillo say she hasn't felt the recent shift in crime.
I don't feel it's unsafer than it's ever been.
It's just something to say about our country, you know, that we have a safe place here.
I did try to speak to someone from the El Paso Republican Party to get an opinion on Trump's statements. They did not get back to me in time for the story. Reporting for Good Morning El Paso, I'm Jerry Nájera with ABC 7.
El Paso City Council wants to stop people from saying insults and inappropriate things at council meetings. Council's rules forbid personal attacks during public comment, but City Rep Michael No says there are repeat offenders. So he proposed banning repeat offenders for 3 months and cites this example.
I cannot swallow the same-sex unions. I can only tell you the way that I feel inside about such a thing. Guácala. Guácala. Translation, yuck.
He referred to them in Spanish as being gross and disgusting, right? And you can come to the microphone and say, you know, because of my religious beliefs, because of this or that, I just don't agree with the Supreme Court ruling or what City Council did years ago or whatever, but you don't have to refer to people in those terms.
Well, council agreed to turn off people's mics who are disruptive or even deliver personal attacks, but they won't be banning anyone permanently.
On to the El Paso Children's Hospital bankruptcy case. University Medical Center accuses Children's of not releasing financial information ordered by a judge. The county hospital says Children's won't disclose the money coming in or going out, or their patient volume. A hearing to determine how Children's cash is spent is scheduled for July 30th. A teenage girl in Las Cruces is accused of going on a shoplifting spree and leading sheriff's deputies on a high-speed chase. Authorities say 17-year-old Sandra Becerra took her uncle's truck without permission. She and 2 of her friends, ages 14 and 16, then went to the mall where they allegedly stole makeup and clothing. Now, police say she was about to drop her friends off at their home when a sheriff's deputy says she saw Becerra run a stop sign. She refused to pull over for the deputy, and that is when the chase began. Becerra is now charged with shoplifting, aggravated fleeing, and child abuse.
Customs officers say they noticed something odd about the shoes of a man trying to cross the Paso del Norte bridge. Turns out, according to authorities, the man had nearly 2.5 pounds of meth hidden inside his shoes. The 51-year-old allegedly told the officers that he didn't know what that drug was. Well, he's now in jail.
Picking a venue for a big event can be a challenge, but what if that venue pulled the plug on your big day? That's the allegation against the Vista Hills Country Club in East El Paso. But the vice president says a third-party contractor is to blame. Last week, the country club was told the owner of the company that caters its events left town. Vista Hills says the owner of that group, Marvin Autry, owed them money, and they're not the ones to complain to.
No checks came to the Vista Hills Country Club. No cash was collected at the Vista Hills Country Club to the club. It was all collected by Mr. Autry or his employees, and it went to Mr. Autry.
Autry told ABC 7 he plans to return from Mexico and file suit against the club. Vista Hills says they're honoring the dates and deposits for the 43 customers, and they plan to sue Autry.
A live look at traffic this morning. We've got some construction or something going on. About 10 minutes after 6 right here at I-10 in McRae in the median. Doesn't look like it's holding anything up yet or slowing things down either, but as things get a little busier out there, we'll keep an eye on it, and hopefully it'll be all clear by the time that morning commute really gets into full swing this morning.
And keep it here for more to come on Good Morning El Paso.
With sextortion now considered a growing crime, the FBI wants your help finding victims of a man who targeted young women across the country.
That's including southern New Mexico. We'll have more details on this case. Plus, the latest on the case with Bill Cosby and why prosecutors say they never took him to court.
And let's check in with Crystal. So much to cover this morning with that first alert still in place, and now we know why after last night.
Oh yeah, big hit over Las Cruces. In fact, we're going to talk about some of the estimated totals so far in that area. We'll also discuss how much rain we could be getting over the next few days. It's coming up.
Thanks so much, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.